Can we try this again? I don't know.
Did you miss it?
I missed it.
Yeah, this is our best fabricator.
I missed it. You guys are assholes.
Previously, we scanned our FE engine block to gather data in order to assemble it virtually into the car. So now what we're doing is collecting the data from the car itself. We're going to scan the firewall, the fender tops, the hood, the wheel well arches, and once we gather that data, then I can take it and assemble it all in CAD and use it to determine the placement of the engine and fitment issues that we may have, along with the actual chassis data that we're going to get from Art Morrison, our chassis manufacturer. All right, now that we've got the CAD from Art Morrison, the next step is to bring it into the model that already contains the scan of the vehicle and the scan of the engine. So here we're going to take that in the assembly constraint tool, add this part in, and now we're going to move the chassis around. We'll move it a little bit into a rough position and then apply an assembly constraint so that the chassis is held. Right now I'm going to just add one constraint so that I can still manipulate the chassis and get it into the exact fore and aft, as well as angular position relative to the motor and to the car. The final process of perfectly aligning it will take a little bit more time, but this will give us a pretty good rough estimate of where things are going to end up. We can see a few areas of potential interference here, one being the steering rack in the front and the front cross member, and then as we turn it around a little bit, you can see that the exhaust is going to dump pretty close to the suspension pickup points and the coilover, which putting a big FE in a small car like the Fairlane, that's something expected to run into. But with the way that all the components are assembled here in CAD, luckily I can manipulate the engine and move it around relative to the firewall of the car and determine a good position that will give us clearance, comfort in the cab of the car itself, and provide good handling and launch characteristics for the vehicle. So while I work on aligning the chassis to the scan, Art Morrison in parallel is busy actually building the chassis for us. We've gotten an update of a few photos from Art Morrison. Looks like things are coming along well. We can see the main chassis here on their jig. We've got the side rails, the front of the chassis up here, center cross members coming through, and the rear of the chassis, and everything's going together in this nice full chassis jig that Art Morrison has. Jeff here is doing a great job of putting it together, and we're real excited to get this sent our way. Hopefully my course of work and their course of work meet at about the same time, and we're able to get right to work and assemble the car onto the chassis right when it gets here.
Catch the latest on the Fairlane build by visiting the Edelbrock and following us on social media.